Hi guys, welcome to today's video where I'm going to be doing a first impressions and a few products I picked up from the Chantecaille Spring collection, which includes this finishing powder. I have the warm eyeshadow quad. And I'm also going to be using, for the first time today, the Overlust face palette from NARS. So here we get highlighters as well as blushes. I just can't resist. I need to try this already. So I figured I'll do it on camera with you guys and see together how these products perform. Before we move forward with today's video, I do want to ask you to consider subscribing to my channel. I do try to post as often as possible. And most of the products I do review and demo for you guys are luxury products. That's just where my heart is, but I also like to dabble into some drugstore products as well. So if this is something that interests you, do not forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so that you're notified when I post new videos. Alright, so we're going to start off with the face powder, but I do want to read off from the Chantecaille website what this collection signifies. So Chantecaille is a brand that I absolutely adore, and a lot of what they do is to give back to our environment and to all the animals that are in danger of going extinct. So let me go ahead and read off this specific collection. So it says here, why we've partnered with the Amazon conservation team. To survive and thrive, we believe that these ancient forests are best governed by original guardians, and in particular, their women leaders. The knowledge keepers are the people's most passionate advocates. That's why we've partnered with the Amazon conservation team, who work with indigenous and local communities across the region to protect tropical forests and strengthen traditional culture. Chantecaille is proud to support ACT's efforts on behalf of Osami to legally purchase a private-held forested area to protect its flourishing long into the future. They also released 4 lip cheeks for this collection, and I haven't picked up any, but I am planning on getting 1 or 2 of them. I just can't decide on the shade. It gets so hard for me, especially when it comes to lipsticks, but I'm definitely getting my hands on 1 of those. So let's go ahead and apply the powder. Right now, all I have on is my foundation. I did powder under my eyes and around my T-zone a little bit. I feel like a blurring powder like this isn't so much for setting the under eye area. That's just kind of how I feel about it. So we'll go ahead and apply this all over the face, but first let's talk about this beautiful packaging. So because this is the Hummingbird collection, I don't think I've mentioned that yet, they have hummingbirds on all of their packaging, and just how beautiful they are, just breathtaking. This is just so bright, very colorful. I feel like something very out of the ordinary, like when it comes to luxury makeup. Yet I feel like it still looks very luxe. Just gorgeous. It has Chantecaille written down there. So this is a gel to powder formula infused with special combination of optically correcting pearls and blurring spheres to filter out imperfections. I have seen a few people compare the design of the powder in here to the bronzer. So this is the Real Bronze in the shade Goa. And this is a really nice bronzer. So I figure we'll go ahead and use it today. And yeah, if you guys can see right there, the design is pretty much identical. So this bronzer I know I love. I'm hoping I'm going to love this powder as well. So I'm going to use it to kind of set my foundation today. So with my Sonia G Face 1 brush, I'm going to go ahead and just dip in here. And then I like to first kind of tap it in and then buff it. I see a slight difference with how my skin is looking. This one actually does look a little bit more blurred than my left side where I haven't applied any of this powder yet. But it's honestly, it's a very minimal. It looks good though. You know what, let me go ahead and do this side. It actually looks pretty good. Okay, that actually did a really nice job. I'm trying to see. So this does have a very subtle like pearly sheen to it. It's not very detectable, but I think that kind of helps with making the makeup look a lot more natural and just not that really flat matte looking. So it looks pretty nice. So this is, so far it's promising. So let's go ahead and finish the face makeup, and I want to use this. All right, so this is the Overlust palette. You get 3 highlighters and 3 blushes here. Let's go ahead and do some swatches. Wow. Well, these look so pretty. They look very, very subtle. So right here are the highlighters, and then here are the 3 blushes. A limited edition cheek palette featuring 3 blushes and 3 innovative gel to powder highlighters. This looks like a palette that's more for like a natural look. The highlighters are described as champagne, golden bronze, and rose bronze. So I'm just going to mix all of these and apply it because I can't decide on just one. So we'll kind of go through all of these. Okay, yeah, this is definitely like a more natural highlighter. It looks really pretty though. It doesn't look like it's just sitting on the skin. It's not emphasizing any texture. Let's see, I have more texture on this other side though, so. Yeah, no, I don't feel like it made it much worse. I mean, highlight is always going to emphasize some texture, but some do a lot more than others, and this one actually seems to be really pretty. Very subtle though, very subtle. I can't get over how subtle this is. I mean, it's not a bad thing. See if this one applies a little bit more product. Going through all of them again there. It looks like you can build this one up to get a little bit more intensity if that is what you wish to do. I guess right now that's kind of what I'm trying to do. But it's still going to be on the more subtle side. It's really pretty. I mean, I did expect more from it, but I do so far like these. Very appropriate for an everyday use for the office. These blushes actually look really, really beautiful. It comes with a soft rose, nude peach, and dusty mauve. I think I'm gonna mix these two though and see what I get. Actually, let me do my bronzer first. I like to do highlight, bronzer, and then the blush. So we'll get back to that right now. So I'm going to go in with the Chantecaille Go Up Bronzer using my Scott Barnes number 65 brush. A brush like this is good because it's very dense. And with this type of formula, it does a really good job at picking up a decent amount of product. So you don't have to keep digging in for some more. Usually the first or second round, it's quite enough. Back to this palette. Like I said, I mixed these 2 shades. And let's see what comes out of it. A beautiful blush shade on the cheeks. Wow, these blushes are so pretty. I can tell just by looking at them in the pan that these blushes were gonna be something. Wow, really beautiful. It's like the perfect amount of pigment as well. And I actually do enjoy NARS blushes. I really love them, and actually I'm thinking of several right now that I have and I haven't used in a while. I'm going to need to pull those out. Wow, that is so, this cheek, I swear, always giving me a hard time. But this side, it looks so good. By the way, I'm using the Sonia G Cheek Pro brush. Then whatever's left over the bridge and sides of my nose. Go ahead. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the eyes, but first I'm going to prime, and this has just been my eyeshadow primer of the year so far. I love this. It's from Fenty. It is the Pro Filter Amplifying Eye Primer. Now, this was released last year, but I discovered it early last month when I did my video testing out my favorite YouTubers' 2019 favorites, and Kathleen Light talked about this eye primer. Since then, I have not been able to put it down. So I like to treat my eyeshadows, pretty much any makeup that I do, especially at first impressions, I like to treat it like I do my other products. I like to give it a fair chance and see how it works for myself. I just like to do it how I would normally apply eyeshadow. One thing I don't want to do though is set this eye base with another powder. So with my clean fingers, I'm just tapping over to remove any excess. Chantecaille did release 2 eyeshadow palettes for this hummingbird collection. Inspired by the flickering magic of a hummingbird's colorful wings, this collectible limited edition compact reveals 4 eye shades that creates shimmering, sophisticated looks that define and flatter. And you also get a really nice mirror with this palette. So this one right here is described as a glimmering peach. This is a matte neutral brown. We've got a cool shimmering slate and then a chromatic gold with iridescent pink pearl. So I'm first going to go in with this peachy shade using my Win Gloss number 3 brush. And although this is a shimmery shade, I'm going to apply it over the crease here. Mostly in the inner portion to really bring light to this area here. And then whatever's left, I'll drag it outwards. Now with my Wayne Gloss number 17, let's go into this brown matte shade. I'm applying this all over the lid. I'm also making sure to apply this into the crease. I'm going to go back with the previous brush to blend out these edges. Actually, let me start off here in the inner portion, because here I'm just doing some blending, but I do want to add some depthness here in the outer corner with this shadow. So I'm picking up a little bit more to apply right here. Synergy Worker 1, I'm going to pick up this chromatic shade. And I'm just going to tap this over the lid, all over the brown shade. So pretty. This reminds me of an eyeshadow from Pat McGrath. Love that. Love that. So with the NARS pencil brush, I'm going to pick up this slate shade. I'm just going to go ahead and line my bottom lash line with this. This is really pretty. This one and the Chroma shade both have more of a chunkier texture. And on this one, you can really see some micro glitters. I kind of feel like now I have to balance this out though. So let me apply some on top. I've got to say, I am pretty impressed with the fact that I've got minimal fallout. Because this is kind of that chunkier formula, I'm used to having a mess once I'm done with this. So that is quite nice. I want to blend the slate shade a little bit. So I'm going to pick up some of this matte shade. And then kind of just go right under the first shade we applied here to blend these edges and smoke it out a little bit more, especially in this outer corner. Okay, I'm gonna apply some mascara, some lipstick, and I'll be right back. And here is the final look. So I went ahead and applied my Too Faced Damn Girl mascara. I also lined my waterline with my Chanel Stylo U waterproof eyeliner in the shade Cassis. And for lipstick, I wanted something bright. This is a spring collection after all. So I went in with my Violet Fatale from Tom Ford. The shade here, I love this color. So, okay, a little rundown as far as the products I applied today. The Perfect, you know, I never told you guys the name of this. The Perfect Blur Finishing Powder. This beauty right here. So this is nice. My skin is actually looking really good. I'm actually really liking this, but for sure this is something I'm going to have to update you guys with. But so far it's really nice. The eyeshadow palette so far, I love this, love it. I'm so happy I ended up picking up this palette as opposed to the cool tone one. The cool tone one looks really pretty. It's got more like pinky plummy shades in it. Overall, the color selection in this one is something, I mean, I would gravitate towards the other one as well, but I'm happy I ended up picking this one up. And look at me now, I'm very happy with this eye look, so I hope it stays intact throughout the entire day. And this palette from NARS, I absolutely love the packaging of this. I didn't even talk about it in today's video. I had shown this in my haul video. I love this. It's this metallic pink cover. I love the texture of this. It's got like these waves, really beautiful. The palette is really pretty. By the way, I did end up going in and picked up some of this pink highlighter to apply into my inner corners, and then whatever was left onto my brow bone. My eye look just didn't feel complete without that. I'm sure I could have made it work with a palette, but I just decided to go into this. The highlighters in here are nice. I don't feel wowed by it. I actually don't feel like it's showing on this side a little bit more, I think. But it's not showing as much on my cheeks right now as I would have liked it to. I do like subtle highlighters. I actually prefer them over like those blinding highlighters. But these didn't quite get there for me. The blushes though are amazing. So for me, this palette is worth it because of these beautiful blushes. So still very happy with this. Alright guys, that's it as far as today's video. If you enjoyed, please make sure to give me a thumbs up. And while you're there, if you have not yet subscribed, make sure you subscribe so you do not miss out on any of my future videos. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Until next time.